going to need an 8.5 by 5.5 inch card, and go ahead and score that in the middle and fold it in half. So next you're going to need some squares, and these are cut at 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. Before we actually put those down, we're going to use this stamp, and we're going to stamp a background onto some white paper. So I'm just using the Studio G acid-free pigment ink, and this doesn't have to be perfect. You want it to have that kind of rough look. So then we're just going to cut those out. Then we're just going to trim those down to about 1 1/8 inch by 1 1/8 inch. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to ink the edges, and I'm using the Color Box Fluid Chalk Cat Eyes, and we're going to be using the charcoal color. You just want to darken it up a little bit. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect. It can look as rough as you want it to look. So those are what those look like. And then we'll go ahead and put some adhesive on those. And put our squares in the middle. So that's what that looks like so far. Using the Create a Critter Cricut cartridge on page 39 of the handbook, you're going to need to cut out 3 fish using the accessory feature. And here are the ones that I've made. I'm going to go ahead and use the Color Box Petal Point Classic Pigment Ink Pad, and I'm going to ink the edges of each of the fish. So for my green one, I'm going to use the green. And again, I'm just adding a little color, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I just want them to pop out a little bit more. And I'm going to use the yellow for this one. I think you can see it. There you go. Here are the faces and the fins, and you're going to want to ink those too. And then I'm going to use my 2-way zig glue pens to piece those together. And that's how the fish turned out. And so we're going to go ahead and use foam squares to attach those. I'm going to put them on our card. like this. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to cut out the igloo and then the igloo layer. So that's going to be layer 1. And I'm using a really light pale blue for the base. And then on the top part, I'm going to use a sparkly white. It's really pretty. And also using the same cat eye color that we used before, the Prussian blue, I'm just going to ink the edges of the cuts really lightly, just to give it a little bit more depth. And we'll adhere that to our card. So I'm going to put that right there. A little crooked. And then I've cut out the phrase "just chillin" right here. And I've used a sparkly blue for that, and that's cut at 1 1/4 inches as well. And I'm just going to use my fine point zig two-way glue to attach that. And we're just going to place that right above the igloo. And the last image you're going to need is the penguin. So you're going to need your base. You're going to need layer 1, which is the face and tummy. You're going to need layer 2, which are the beak and feet. And you're going to need layer 3, which is the scarf. So I've already done that, and we'll go ahead and put him together. And I'm just poking out his eyes. And I'm using the Colorbox Fluid Chalk Cat Eye in charcoal. And we're just going to lightly ink the edges of his face. And what else? Oh, his scarf. And then last, I'm going to punch out his eyes. And I'm going to add brads. And then we're going to use the foam squares. And we're going to attach him to our card right in the corner. So here's the finished card. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and thank you so much for watching.